Hi there, it's Terry Hoknes. I'm going to show you how I digitize and save copies of old photographs into my computer and label them. And hopefully this will give you some guides because it's very important to back up your photos just in case of fire or loss. And maybe you just want to have copies digitized so you have the backups, also so that you could easily share them with people through email, maybe posts on Facebook. Or maybe you want to get copies printed in a larger size and get framed. So lots of options. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to my printer. It's hooked up to my computer. I'm going to open it up. I grab just a few random photos here. Now, I can lay them flat. These ones are a bit wrinkly, so I'm going to make sure I close the screen. Hopefully that'll flatten them out enough. Now, you can scan just one photo if you like, but I'm going to show you an option if you want to do more than one. You'll notice that the photos only took about the top third of my scanning area, so I'm going to show you how I can save some time scanning knowing that. Okay, so we're coming over to my computer, and now, here's where we got a couple interesting things to note. I've got a whole bunch of icons, and the icon I like here is Paint. This is the program that I've been using for almost 30 years. It's very simple, it's very basic, it's free, but it works so great just to get your photos scanned. So you can do more editing later on, but our main goal here is to get them in the computer and get them labeled. So all I do with my mouse is I click on that Paint icon and I get a blank screen, and this is the Paint program. Now, what I'm going to do, if your printer is already connected to your computer, all I'm going to do is click on Import to Canvas under File in the top left corner, and that says, do you want to import from a file or from a scanner or camera? So I'm going for my scanner, so I'm going to select that, and then it pops up this window. What do you want to scan? And so mine already recognizes my Epson scanner, and it's set to color picture, which is presumably what we all want. You can choose black and white or grayscale if you like, but it'll still scan in black and white even if you have it set to color. The important thing is the quality and size. So here is where I click. Now it says resolution. Dots per inch is the DPI. So most people these days like to scan stuff at least 300. That's going to make it triple the size. And if you really want high quality for like a special photo, you could do even up to 600 dots per inch. This is going to make the photo massively large on your screen when it's done. Okay, so I'm going to click OK just to show you how big 600 is. Now, if you find you don't have time to do 600 because it takes a while, then I recommend at least 300 under custom settings. Okay, now here is a picture of my scanner flatbed, and I noticed that I only put pictures at the top third of the screen, so I can use my mouse and adjust this to only scan the top third. That's going to save time because it's not going to try to scan all the part of the screen where there's no picture. Okay, so I'm going to hit scan, and now it's going to do its job. At the bottom of my screen, it'll show me how fast it's working. Now, this will depend on the speed of your computer, because of course some computers are way slower than others. I have a very fast computer, so you'll see that this didn't take long at all. But at the 600 DPI, you're probably looking at a couple minutes on an average slower computer, but mine's really fast. So now look at this. Here's me scrolling past the pictures because this is massively big. Okay, I'm going to use my zoom button, and I'm going to zoom out so I can just make it smaller on my screen. I'm not actually making the pictures smaller, I'm just seeing them smaller on my screen so we can actually see the pictures. Okay, so I've shrunk it way down. Now, as I mentioned, you can do one at a time. You might find that easier, but I'm used to doing, massive quantities. So now that I've got them scanned, they look great. They're going to be huge, nice quality. But of course, I don't want them together, and I don't want all that white background. So now what I'm going to do is go up to Selection, and I'm going to click on Rectangle, And from there, that should give me a mouse. And you'll see from there, what I'm doing is I'm dragging it around the edges of the picture. I let go. Now it's kind of hovering like my decision's been made. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click crop. And once I click on crop, it took away everything. And you could crop even more. Maybe you decide I don't need all that road at the bottom. Maybe I don't want so much sky at the bottom. Maybe I want to get rid of the edge a bit. Okay. So there you go. So now I've got this perfect picture. And you're probably wondering, well, what happened to the second one? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so now, this is the important part. Now that I've got the picture ready to go, this is how I want to save it. I'm going to go back up to File, and I'm going to click on Save As. Now, I can save the picture as a few different format styles. These are all picture files. JPEG is probably the most famous one, but PNG, a lot of people think that's actually a better quality, so it's up to you. If you want just decent and not too large, JPEG is kind of the standard. So it doesn't matter to me. I'll just pick JPEG for now. Once I did that, now it opened up a window and said, okay, you want to save it as a JPEG, but the picture is untitled. We need to actually name it something. I personally, to find things quickly, always like to put the year first. Now, if you don't know the exact year, obviously you're going to have to guess. Come up with a good estimate. Basically look at the cars in the photos, fashions, clothing, and the quality of the picture. And you should come in the right ballpark. So anyway, this photo I just happen to know is from 1979. Now, I can type anything I want because now this is the actual title of the file and the picture. If you had people, you could put their names first, or perhaps first and last name. You could put some details where the photo was taken, basically answer the where, what, who, how, all those kind of questions. So this one, if I just said whatever details I wanted to type. So I'm just going to type funeral car, John Melnick. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving you some random keywords that you could type. What's great about this, the more words you put, like where the photo's from, who's in the picture, an address, perhaps a city, will just make it easier in the future when you want to search for keywords, you'll find the photo faster. Okay, so there's just some random keywords I'm using as an example. Once I've typed that and I'm happy with that, I'm just going to click on Save. Now keep in mind, it's going to save the photos wherever you want. If you're not sure where you're saving stuff, I usually go up to the top here where it says downloads. You could save it there for sure. A lot of times I recommend people go find desktop, and then you'd save it on your desktop, and then you'll know it's there and it's easy to find. But anyway, I'll leave it on downloads for now. I'm going to click on save. Now, I've saved this, but you're wondering, well, what happened to the other picture? Well, luckily, if I don't close the screen, if I go up here and I hit the back button, it's going to keep hitting it until you finally get back to the original scan. And now we're back here. So now, again, I'm going to go click on Selection and Rectangle. And again, I'm going to kind of start at one corner of the photo and make my way down and use how much of the photo I want. And again, once I've done that, click on Crop. And now it's cropped the picture back to this one. Now I'm going to go up to File again. Click on Save As. Again, pick a file format. I'm picking JPEG. Again, it's even remembering the name of the last photo, but I'm going to change it because this one's different. So again, if I don't know the exact date, I'm going to come up with a guess. I'm going to say this photo looks about 1969 based on the type of photo and the clothing, etc. And then I'm just going to type Bob's sister. If you know the name, great. I actually don't know the name. Oops, got to spell it correctly, of course. And I might put a last name. I might put an address, like where was this house? Now, you don't have to do any of these. These are your photos. You label them as you want. Okay, but my point is you could put as many keywords as you want. Your computer should be able to handle probably up to about 30 words. So you really could label it well. And again, when that's done, I'm going to click on Save, and now I've saved that. Now, if I want to go look at all my photos, on your computer, you have the File Explorer icon. Every computer has that. And then you'll see that under the Downloads folder, oh, here's my pictures. So there's the one labeled. Here's the one labeled. Now, I could go create new and click on folder. And now it's given me a new folder, which I could name. And I could just say anything I want. Family photos, scanned photos, anything you like. Just so that you can start putting them somewhere. Right? And then at that point, I can even take these photos that I've already done, and I'm literally going to use my mouse and just drag them right into that folder. Now, if I double click on the scanned photos folder, there they are. Now, this is going to be really cool the more photos you do, because your computers, if you start the date in the name of your files, you'll see it'll automatically put them in order chronologically. That's why I really like it. So I will have all the oldest photos at the top. You, of course, later can search by the date that you scanned them. But here's what's really great about this. So let's say I had a list of hundreds of photos here, and I'm looking for one specific one, but I don't remember the year. But I remember it's a picture of John. In my computer, I literally can go up to the top search bar, search the scanned photos folder, type John. Oops, I'm having a bad day spelling today. Make sure I spell John correctly, and then tell it to search for John, and now it pulls up all the photos with the word John specifically. And you will see that there it is. So again, once you have them, now you can attach these files to emails, Facebook, send them to people, back them up on other hard drives, and it just takes really a minute a photo, but the more you do, the faster you're going to get. So I'm going slow just to kind of show you step by step, but really I can do photos every 15 seconds. All right, so thanks for watching this, and hopefully this will get you started. It's important to back up your photos. You might have the only copy in existence, and you would hate to lose it. Thanks.